communication is not there now, just like before.
Communication has never been there in the team. And that is something, I, as an old man, have been constantly saying communicate, communicate, communicate. And from the time I have come, I've tried to get people to talk to each other.
Abid needs a
Yes,
minute of.
Yes, yes.
Abid needs a minute. Okay.
No, Arshad.
We are talking each
Then
other, Abid.
on mute.
Communication. Sahil said a very right thing. As we grow, by the way, has anyone seen my long defunct blog that I shared with you guys the other day that I used to write?
Yeah,
The 3
it
KRAs.
was
Okay.
long.
So long defunct. I hadn't written anything in it for the past 10 years now, at least more than 10 years. And my wife, my family have been goading me, and trying to pressurize me. Start writing, start writing. But that's another story. So when we become seniors, or when we become managers, or once we become leaders, what is the right word? Georgi.
Leaders.
Okay. Anyone can tell me one difference between a leader and a manager?
Leader is a human which is helping people to make things better, decisions better, and also to lead the team. Manager is the, I think, uh, uh, different position. I think
And
leader.
do you know why I always call on you, Guerreros, Arun, and Sahil more when I'm talking, when I'm giving a presentation, Georgi? I'll tell you why. Because you are my children. Earlier, Misha, Angelica, Abid
You're
were my
being
children, but
biased.
now they have been handed over to somebody
You
else.
are being you're being biased.
So, well, that's not true, but I like saying it. Hi, Bipin. So
Now the
that
it's
is the
been
reason why I always, ask you to give questions, answer these small tidbits that I have. So a leader is a person who guides, and a manager is just a manager. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with him, Misha?
Yes, part of it. Yeah.
For us in India, a leader is a person who's like a politician.
Yeah.
I think leader is the when the people you follow. Leaders people in following. Not manager is the man who is giving people's instructions.
Actually, there is not a
But
focus.
I think leader doesn't. Leader is the human who I don't know how to say in English, but I think leader is better than
You
the
know,
manager.
have you seen sheeps?
Yeah.
Have you seen goats, sheeps?
Mhm. Yes.
Where one
Of
goat
course,
goes, the
of
rest of the
course.
goat follow. The rest of the sheep follow.
Wolves also.
Yes. This it's a leader. Actually, I think leader is not like a official position. It's more the
Depends on the person, maybe.
relationship between team and the person who is leading them. The
Okay.
trust and he is always a person for the team who is hope and actually the most the first person who must be asked for help.
One is good example is the Mahatma Gandhi, who was the leader, not manager.
Okay, I'll step in before this conversation goes to a different tangent. Abid, what is the difference? What is one difference that you find between a leader and a manager?
Well, a leader leads by examples. A manager
Leads by painting.
manages.
A manager can be a leader, depends on his traits. I mean,
Yeah,
Yes, of course,
respect. I think
of
the
course.
respect is a difference. people always respect their leader, but sometimes they don't respect maybe manager because it's a position. But
I think I've told
May-
all of you all
may
this.
I-
Yeah, sure.
May I please
Okay.
may I please leave because there's something else going on very important at the moment.
What is going on?
The payments.
Okay, go. That is
Okay.
important. You shouldn't even come back here. That is most important.
Okay. Bye.
Okay,
Please share the video.
Yeah, we will share the video.
Bye.
It is a very exciting video. Don't sell it out to anybody. So we agree that we all are leaders. Yes, no? Angelica, are we leaders?
Yes.
Yes, I think. Yes.
Yes, I think.
Yes.
Okay. So we all are leaders. However, no two eggs in the same basket would be the same. It may have yolk inside. It may have the white part of it inside, but it may have an embryo inside. But no two eggs are the same. Hence, no two human beings also would be the same. And no, even twins, even co-joint twins. You know what co-joint twins are not? Two heads, two
One
necks,
body.
but one body.
Yes.
So even they are different. So every leader is different. Now, basis of this, or in pertaining to this, do you know what type of a leader are you? Remember the first day, one of the first training sessions, one of the first STPs I had told you about different styles.
Yes, we had the
Different
questions
methodology.
about lots of questions that we
No. There are many things that we have discussed, many things we will be repeating in those discussions. But do you know what type of a leader are you? Yes, no?
I don't remember exactly.
You were not there. I don't think you were there. You were a part of it at that time. But do you know what type of a leader you could be or you are? No?
No, I don't.
Okay. There are different methodologies, there are different studies which show that there are different tests. There are different psychometric analysis that is done to find out your style of leadership. But today, what we are going to be talking about is one thing very distinct. Let me share it with you. Give me a minute. Come on, why am I not able to share? Give me 1 minute. Nope, not this. So today we are going to talk about the Goleman methodology or Goleman's leadership style. Can you see the screen, guys? Everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes. You were saying something? It's gone? Or can you see it?
We saw it,
We
Abhi.
see.
It's visible. Yeah.
We
It's
see.
Okay. So you saw it, Angelica, you saw it and you can't see it. Is that correct?
I can see it.
You can see it. Okay. So see, this is a very good example of how a person, though may have the best interest at heart, but this is where communication, we lose communication. Angelica, don't feel bad. She said, I saw it. Now, I as a person, or we saw it. So that is the past tense.
Yes.
Saw it. So that means what will I understand? You can't see it now. Or I have to ask you the question. Are you able to see it now? Because you were able to see it previously. So, well, that is just one thing with that is barriers to communication, but that's another topic. We'll talk about that later. So we have one particular study about leadership styles, which was derived by a psychiatrist by the name of Goldman. And he's come up with 6 varied categories of leaders. There is a commanding leader, there is a visionary leader, there is an affiliative leader, there is a democratic leader, there is a pace setting leader, and there is a coaching leader. These are different styles. These are different traits. And it's not necessary that one person may not have all of them. But depending upon what action you take for a particular situation, that leadership style comes into the fore. Let me give you an example. Who is my deputy in the team in Photoguru? Who's my deputy? Who's my man Friday? Who's my go-to person?
Obun Thompson.
Go to Owen.
Obun Thompson.
My
Sahil?
deputy, Abid Sayals. Who's Abid Sayals' deputy?
Sahil.
Exactly.
Sahil.
So he's my go-to man. Ideally, I should not be talking to anybody except Sahil. Ideally, Sahil is my one-person contact, except for me when I'm interacting with Owen. I'm interacting with Ella or other stakeholders. Ideally, I should be doing that. Everything, my point of contact should be Sahil. But this is not a viable trait in a small business. Tomorrow, when we have around 50 trainers, and Sahil is my right hand, and Sahil has 10 managers below him. So probably at that time, I will only speak to Sahil about everything. But right now, I have a different approach. I have a different methodology. And that is the right methodology for this particular situation. Both Deep and Lalit have teams. Correct?
Yep.
But if Lalit goes on a vacation and Deep steps in for Lalit's team to handle it, what will the team members of Lalit feel about Deep? They will think that Lalit's methodology or leadership is different. Deep's leadership is different because they are two different individuals. They have different styles. Maybe Lalit, is more proactive with his team because it is his team. He is responsible for it. But I have this is not a, please don't take this the wrong way. But Deep is just superficially taking care of that team. Deep is not responsible for it. So Deep will not go in depth about it unless and until he's asked to do it. He will just skim through it. When he speaks with Lalit's team during Lalit's absence, he'll say, okay, you guys have any problems? No, that's it. That's it. However, Lalit will ask each and every member of his team because Lalit is concerned. Are you understanding? Though they are two leaders, they're two distinct leaders. It doesn't make any difference in their leadership style. Guys, just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. My daughter came at the door. I had to open it because my wife is with she's with a patient. Okay. So that does not mean that Deep is not a good leader. Deep is a good leader. But priorities for every leaders differ. Methods of every leaders are different. Georgi, are you understanding me? Misha, are you understanding me? Angelica, are you understanding me?
Yes, Abhi.
However, that does not mean that Lalit is better than Deep. No, that's not the case. So likewise, we have, as per Mr. Goldman, different leadership styles. Remember, we've learned about six walking sticks. Did we?
Hats.
6 hat.
Six
Think
hats
Okay,
we have.
very good. We learned about 6 hats. 6 hats?
Hats.
Is that what we learned about?
Yep.
6 thinking hats.
Very good. Who said that? Deep. Who said that?
Me.
Bipin said it.
Bipin.
Bipin said it. 6 thinking hats. So there was a maroon hat. There was a
No, maroon no is not.
maroon was not there. Good. So there was a purple hat.
No, purple not. Red,
Okay.
black, yellow, green, blue, white.
Very
Red,
good.
black.
Deep.
White, yellow, green, blue, red.
Well played, Abid. Bye.
White, yellow, green, red, black, blue.
It was the
Bipin has not had breakfast. That's the reason why he's speaking like this. So, even with the 6 thinking hats, it's not that you always wear the blue hat or the red hat or the black hat or the green hat or the white hat. It's at a particular situation, it's at a particular moment that you wear a particular type of hat when the situation requires you to. Likewise, when we have these 6 different leadership styles, it's not necessary that you are embedded into this particular style. Yes, you may have that predominant. What do I mean by that? They could be 60%, 70% of you of that leadership style, of that method. That again depends how you are as a person. But it would mean that you will have all the traits, you may have all the traits of the 6 leadership styles. Now, let me tell you about each and every one of them. Excuse me. The first is commanding. Excuse me. What do you understand by meaning commanding? Sahil.
He's like
Giving commands.
Okay. Visionary.
Oh.
Vipin, what do you mean by visionary?
Focused.
Okay, focused. He's like Owen. He started this company called LSP, London Stock Photography. He had a vision about taking this business throughout the world.
Yeah.
So he started Photoguru. What is affiliative? Anybody?
I don't know this word. What does it mean?
I totally agree with you. Affiliate means that you are joining something. Affiliate, that means to join or to be with something. Have you heard about this term that this particular university is affiliated to the University of so and so?
Associated with.
Associated with. So that is the meaning of affiliative. He affiliates, he associates. What is democratic?
always asks the people.
Very good. It's for the people. What is democracy? Government of the people, for the people, by the people.
Yeah.
So this is consensus.
Ganatantra.
Being for the people,
Mhm.
leading by the people.
Mhm.
It's a team of the people. Now, the next leadership style is pace setting. What is the meaning of pace? PACE.
Low.
How speed in this goes?
Pace is not, sorry, Vipin, pace does not mean only speed.
Pace means there should be a flow. I think flow. Pace means flow. Equal flow.
Setting a
Very good.
benchmark or something.
Overload
Pace
or
setting. A person who maintains a speed, maintains a distance, maintains a formula. That would come under pace setting. And pace setting is not only associated with walking, but it could be with anything. My pace is a little, my speaking pace is a little high. And when I'm talking about, when I talk about communication skills, when I talk about grammatical skills, if a person speaks, there is pace, there are 4 P's. Pace, pause, and I've forgotten the rest of the 2. So pace means how, it's not how quickly I speak, that's speed, but it's how many letters or how many words I speak in a sentence. So if I may be speaking like this, but I am speaking, I'm not speaking very fast, but what is happening is that I'm speaking very quickly. However, if I am going to pace my sentences correctly with the right pause, people may be able to understand me. So a pace is time. It's defined by time. It's defined by speed. It's defined by duration. So there's a when a person, you could say, is a pace setter. So it's not necessarily that he sets he's quick, but it's what he sets. Goals could be set, achievements could be set, the quantitative work is could be set. So pace could be anything. So a pace setter or a pace setting has not only speed but with a lot of different other factors. Is this confusing? Are you able to understand it so far? We will discuss about it more. That is the reason why I have chosen this particular topic of Goleman, of leadership styles, for today. Hence, in our next sessions, we'll talk about different leadership styles. We'll also talk about assertive, argumentative, different types of leaders. What is the benefit of having being having these particular leadership traits, and how you can recognize what you are. We'll talk about this in the next 2-3 sessions as well. And the last, as per Goleman, is coaching. Being a coach for the team. Any questions so far? Misha?
No, actually, it's clear for me.
Okay. So let's start with the first criteria.
After,
this-
can you share this?
I'll share this with you. You can't see it now?
No, I see it. But after,
Yeah, I'll share this slide with you later on, after the session.
Yeah.
So
What
let's
is-
yeah.
What is difference between visionary and pace setting?
Okay, a very good question. A visionary is a person who thinks about things. Let me give you a very good example about that we see day in and day out, and which I just gave you. Owen is a visionary. Owen saw a business opportunity and he pounced on it. Owen started London Stock Photography. Owen started Photo Guru, but Owen understood that he needs help. So he brought in people like Natalie, he brought in people like Lewis, he brought in people like Ella, he brought in Prabir, he brought in a person like me, he's getting in another couple of persons in. And we are the people who are setting direction, the speed, the requirements of a company. So Owen is a visionary. If you talk about leadership style, he is a visionary. He set up Photo Guru, he set up London Stock, and he knows his limitations. And he knows where he needs his strategic people in. So now he has put in the strategic people in the places so that he does not need to micromanage. Now that's pace setting. That particular trait of his is pace setting. He's a visionary. Along with that, he's a pace setter. He put in Abid Sayal in charge of human development or people's development throughout the world. Now, it's not only this particular editing training. I also have to take care of MDPs, SDPs, people development in all the stages. Training and development is just a part of it. My responsibilities also involve with client as well as photographers development as well. My responsibility also has Ella's or Natalie's development as well. So people development means everyone. So Owen is a visionary. He's also a pace setter. He got in the key players for performance. He's also affiliative. He's affiliated himself with us. He's democratic. He listens to all of us. He coaches us where he feels that we require help. And he's also commanding. If we don't live up to that particular responsibilities, he can definitely kick us at the backside. Sahil answers your question?
Yes.
So let's talk about the leadership style, the leadership's method. Modus operandi means method. A commanding leader would demand immediate compliance. Bipin, do this right now.
I thought you were shouting.
That's commanding. Don't think of it as shouting, dear. How will a visionary leader say it? Bipin, you know what? I have thought about this particular thing, which I feel can only be handled by you because you have the experience and you have the exposure to it. So this is what I would like you to do is use that previous experience in doing this. How will an affiliative leader talk about it? He creates harmony and builds emotional bonds. Bipin, you know what? Take Sahil, take Deep. They are good resources. And you know what? You could do this thing, this thing, this thing. I know you have had experience of doing similar things when we were not there. And you know what? You could even help show this to Deep and Lalit how to do it. So tomorrow, if you're on a leave or if you're on a holiday, at least these two can do it. So he creates an emotional bond. An affiliative leader. He affiliates. What is the other word for affiliate that Ridhima told you? Supportive,
Associative.
associative. So affiliative leader creates an association. And remember, none of this is either right or it's wrong. It's all leadership styles. What will a democratic leader do? He'll call a meeting. It says, you know, guys, this is what I have thought, which could be. What are your thoughts about it? Bipin, what do you think about this? Lalit, what do you think about it? What will a pace setter do? A pace setter will call Lalit, Deep, everyone, the team, and says, you know, guys, this is what I think is best for the business. And I know you guys can get there, and I know you can do it. So I'm not going to tell you how to do it. Only do it in this particular method that we come out flying colors. And I know you guys can do it. How will a coach do it? A coach is a person who is usually has an independent style. He has not independent, but he's a participant. Bipin, you know what? I feel that in order for us to be successful like this, I feel that you would do this particular role justice. I think that this is something that we need to do. So I feel that you should be doing it. And I think that it would be best done by you in this particular manner. What do you think? And I'm sure you'll be able to do it. So he's asking. A pace setter does not ask. He informs. A democratic person takes a vote. An affiliative thought process leader is a person who takes a consensus. A visionary, he takes everyone in his plans. He makes everyone see the dreams that he wants to do. And a commanding person is someone like me. Hey, do this. Oh, do that. Is it clear what the basics of these leadership styles are? Team? Yes, no,
Yep.
maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And you know what? One of the most common mistakes that trainers or training leaders do
Mhm.
is that then they give examples about their teams in this kind of leadership styles sessions. In an open forum, never try to do that. When you're with your team, never say, you know what, this guy is such and such. This guy is a dreamer. This guy sends in his work late because he goes to the gym between 1 and 2 p.m. No, always try to cover up the mistakes of your team. A good leader is he who covers up. A good leader is not that person who hangs his team to or rather hangs his team out to dry in the sun, or puts the noose, the hangman's knot, in front of his team for the world to see. No, a good leader will never do that. Now let's see the second paragraph. The style in a phase, in a group, in an action. Angelica, read the second second, what do you say, line. Type of leader and the sentence. Let me show you how the first one, I'll read it out. The style in a phase. A commanding leader will say, do what I tell you. Now read, go ahead.
You are
You're
on
on mute.
mute and
Sorry. Okay. Come with me. People come first.
No. First read the category of the leadership style.
Okay. The category of the leadership style is the style in a phase. So the commanding will say, do what I tell you.
Very good.
Come with me.
Who says that? Visionary leader says that. The visionary style. See the
yes.
top blue line.
Yep. Sorry.
Okay.
And next, the affiliative will say, people come first.
Very good.
While the democratic will say, what do you think? The pace setting will say, do as I do now.
Good.
Lastly, the coaching will say, try this. Should I continue?
Georgi is confused.
No, I'm watching this leadership styles because this shows a little bit smaller, and
Yes,
I
very
am
small.
I am
I'll
near
send it to
the.
you. Wait, I'll send it to you guys.
Mm.
I'll send it to you guys. After this is over, I'll send it to. Do you want me to send it to you right now?
No,
Yes.
after, or now it's
I already take a screenshot.
Arey, I send it to you, Georgi.
Or maybe yes.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it in training material. I've sent also the 6 thinking hats and the other presentation that I made to you guys about andragogy and
Abid, it will
pedagogy
be
yesterday.
better. Abid, it will be better to if you create one folder on Drive and share with us. So it's much better, I think.
I'll
for
do
all
it.
of
I
us.
will do it later. I
Mhm.
will do
with
it
all
later.
the previous docs.
Yeah.
All the king's horses and all the king's men could not put together Sahil again. My dear darling Sahil, you know, as my right hand, as my man Friday, you are supposed to be doing this.
No, it's your baby.
See my eyes.
It's
See
your,
my
it's
eyes.
your baby,
See how
Ahmed.
I'm doing it.
It's your baby, Ahmed.
See how easy it is, you know. So what type of a leader am I if I tell Sahil to do it?
Commanding.
Very good. But when I spoke to Sahil right now, how did I say it?
Visionary.
Okay. You know, guys, I really don't want to put you guys all on a spot. So think about it. Now, these styles will help you understand yourself. Lalit, can you read the next line with the styles and the category?
Underline emotional intelligence competencies.
Competencies. Let me explain this to you. Yeah. This is a very important parameter as a leader that you have to understand. What is emotional intelligence? You have heard me saying this a couple of times, right? Yes?
Yep.
Emotional intelligence is how matured, in a bottom line, how matured and how compassionate are you? An emotional intelligence. If you hear a song and you cry, that shows that you're very emotive.
Yeah.
If you get angry at listening to how Putin is treating the Ukrainians, poor Ukrainians, and you get angry, "Ah, Putin!" So that again shows your emotional control factor. So emotional intelligence is what drives us as human beings.
Yeah.
Now, this is for the Indian team members. We have a particular phase that there are 9 emotional stages in a man's which control a human being. Can anyone tell me what the 9 they are? Indian team members, you've heard this from your childhood. No ras, krodh, bhay. You guys don't know it? Sahil, Malik, Lalit, Deep, Bipin,
Not remember.
Ridhima.
I haven't heard, honestly.
The 9 types of emotions that a human being has.
मुझे पता है.
And Bipin, you tell us, please. Without opening the Google, tell us.
Let him search first.
Sorry.
There are
By the
9
way, all
types of
the-
emotions. Okay.
these things that can be found on the mobile. If you look at the emojis, you will see thousand kind of things.
Yes, you're right. There are 9 types of emotions. A man is driven by 9 types of emotions. We will go into that later, but I just wanted you to understand there are 9 different types of emotions. And a person whose intelligence or who is able to control his emotions or her emotions, but can also show those emotions when required, is a person who's emotionally intelligent. It could be a man, it could be a female. And your emotional intelligence tells you how good of a leader are you, of how good of a human being are you. You know, I may be a serial killer. I may be a serial killer. I may have killed 500 different people. How many of you have seen Silence of the Lambs?
I have.
That
I
movie?
have. Mhm.
I have.
You remember the butterfly killer, where the FBI agent, he throws her into a well and he skins the girls he captures, right?
Yes.
He skins them.
Mhm.
He literally takes the skin off, but
Mhm.
he has 2 pets at home. So he may be a serial killer, but he also has emotional intelligence.
Mhm.
He has a type of emotions which drives him. He feeds the cat, he feeds the dog, but he's a serial killer. So a person may have different emotions at different times. And if you can control your emotions, it will tell you what type of emotional intelligence you have. That is a total different topic for some other day. But your emotional intelligence has certain competencies which drive you. Competency, what is the meaning of competency? Method. Your core competency. This is my best method. Abid is a very good speaker. Very good speaker. He explains things to people very well. So what is Abid's core competency? His communication skills. Do you get me? What is Bipin's core competency? Bipin's core competency has that he has an eye for the business. He's got the best skills that is required by LSP. His color casting skills are awesome. So that is his core competency. What is Mikhail's core competency? He's a very good trainer in Georgian.
Mhm.
What is Ridhima's core competency? Ridhima is a very astounding leader. What is Abid Arshad's core competency? He's a people's person. He can easily reach out to anybody, be it Owen or be it an entry level person. So every person has certain core competencies in them. So when a person has different types of leadership styles, there is a core competency. There is one particular trait which drives their emotional intelligence, their behavior, their emotion. So this is what this category is about. Let me explain this. Lalit, you can explain it later, the next one. The commanding leader, the commanding behavioral leadership style, a
Yep.
person's emotional intelligence will be to drive to achieve. He will take initiative and always have self-control. He will not trust everybody. He will not be a trusting person. He will be a driver. He will call you up 10 times in a day. Is this work done? Is
Yep.
this work done? Is this work done? But that does not mean that the person is bad.
Hmm.
That does not mean that the person is bad. But he just wants to ensure that the work is done. A leader will want to ensure that the work is done. How will a visionary display that EQ, emotional quotient? He will have self-confidence, empathy, and a change catalyst. He will or she will be very confident, will empathize with people, will not constantly be standing at your head, will give you the work to do, or rather will advise and summarize, will not will give you emotion, will give you enough freedom. Angelica, are you understanding what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I'm listening.
No, I know you're listening, but are you understanding?
Yes.
Ridhima, is it
Yes, I am.
confusing?
No.
Mikhail, is it confusing?
No.
No.
It's not. No, it's confusing.
Just
Yeah.
No, it is
No,
not
it is not.
confusing.
Not confusing.
How will an associative or an affiliative leader display his leadership style? He will also have empathy. He will build relationships,
that's it.
and he'll have a very good communication. He will reach out to his team. How will a democratic have it? Okay, we just have 10 minutes more. Guys, give me a minute.
Yep.
Georgi,
Yep.
I've sent you something onto the chat. See, it just takes a little bit of search and you can find anything.
Sorry, guys.
No issue.
I'm Google search expert.
Sorry.
PP. No, nothing.
A pace setter will have a conscientious drive to achieve an initiative. He or she will say, okay, guys, you know what we have to do? We have to do this. Are you all with me? Yes. Are you all with me? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Team Photo Guru. Yay. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And a coach will be developing others.
Mhm.
Will be empathetic. Will create self-awareness. Georgi, you know what? If you are not able to do this, you will be coming out as a failure. I'm giving an example, okay? Don't take it personally, Georgi. So, Georgi, you have to prove yourself. You have to do this in order to prove to the whole team that you are the best trainer. Come on, Georgi. I know you can do it. Go ahead, Georgi.
Oh, here it is.
Somebody's speaking in the background somewhere. Now we will understand when will this style work the best. In a crisis, the commanding style leader will be the best in a in a crisis situation. Unfortunately, we are in a crisis situation all the time, as of right now. To kickstart a turnaround or with problem employees. This particular style is effective, very effective. When change is required or a clear direction is needed, that's when a visionary comes in place. That is one of the reasons why when Owen comes into any of our meeting, he talks. And people say, Arey, will this guy never stop talking? Yes, I know this happens. Guys, don't look at me like that. I know what you're thinking. Because he's a visionary. When will an associative leader be, you will understand that you require this particular trait, is to heal rifts in the teams or to motivate people during a stressful circumstances. Do I need to explain this or is it self-explanatory?
Self-explanatory.
A democratic leader, to build buy-ins, to take the consensus of the team, to motivate a team that what their common goals are, to get inputs from team. You know, when we have meetings, there are a lot of times that Ella asks all of you all for your inputs. Why does she do that? Because she's a democratic leader. She, at that particular time, she's a democratic leader. She tells, or this action of hers shows that you, each and every one of you are valuable. Yeah, rather invaluable for the team. We can't, you don't know what your worth is in the team. You're too precious for the team. A pace setting style, when does it work best? To get quick results and to make you highly motivated. When does coaching help? To help an employee improve performance or to develop long-term strengths, to make your basics right. So you see, there are times when you have to be a coach, you have to be a pace setter, you have to be a democrat, you have to be associative, you have to be visionary, and you have to be commanding. Like 6 thinking hats, you should have all these traits in
All
you.
the traits.
And what's the final overall impact on the climate or on the business or impact on people, you could say? Overall impact on the climate of the team or the wellness of the team. Commanding is negative, more strongly positive for visionary. Affiliative is positive, democratic is positive, pace setting is negative, and coaching is positive. So we have 4 positive and we have 2 negatives. Am I correct?
Yes.
Why do you think these are negatives and the 4 are positives?
I guess if you're just with one style and doing with only that division, that is being negative. You have to just be a chameleon of all the styles and see what is the situation like and has to act upon it. Then it can be turned into positive.
True. Think, why do you think many of these factors need positivity from leaders? And why does these 2 particular leadership style declare negativity? It's not negativity.
Actually,
Why is the impact negative?
Mm.
it depends on which perspective we see this style of leadership, I think.
Actually, 4 persons are here like encouraging people. Yeah, they
Very
are
good.
encouraging, and the rest 2 are like not encouraging, but it is same like the working, but it is they are not encouraging them.
I'll explain it to you. In the 6 leadership styles that you see, everyone has its pros, everyone has its cons.
Cons.
Everyone has a good factor, but everything has some kind of a bad factor as well. However, the commanding and the pace setter, these particular traits does not, or rather, people who are in that particular trait, they do not explain. But whereas a visionary and affiliative, a democratic, and a coach explains to the team. You don't
Mhm.
necessarily need a buy-in from a team, but you should be explaining to the team. A commanding
Mhm.
person or a pace setter does not bother, or at that particular moment does not bother to explain to the team.
Mhm. No.
It's very important that explanation from a leader is trickled down to the team member.
No.
As a good leader, the first thing is that your communicate, and this comes back to our primary question, our primary concern, our primary area of improvement for our team
Communication.
is communication. And it's not only our team, it is maximum number of teams in the world. The primary cause of mankind's descent or fall is communication, lack of communication. Remember, I told you a couple of times or some time ago, I've said this statement a couple of times. If Lucifer would have, gone back to and said, "Oh God, I have only worshipped thee. How can you ask me to bow down to in front of something which is made by you? My devotion is only for you." What would have happened? God would have probably have. I can't say because it is something which is godly. God would have exalted his ranks. We wouldn't have had Satan. Every action, this is something again in our lives. Every action has a reaction. That's Newton's
Mhm.
third law. Correct, Misha?
Yes,
Every
I
action has
agree.
a possible and a revert or whatever kind of a reaction.
Mhm.
Every step of our lives as human beings, we take decisions, we take an action.
Mhm.
If we could have done something else at that particular point of time, there could have been another timeline or there could have been another life for us. For example, if when I was uh, after my high school, I wanted to become a doctor, but my mother didn't have the money to pay for my education. At that time, it was around like 500,000 Indian rupees for admission in a medical college. If my mother would have given me 500,000, today I wouldn't have been here with you guys. I would have been in
I,
some practice or doing some operation. I would have been a surgeon. Who knows
I
It's
what?
can
good.
connect. I can connect to it. Yeah, totally.
It's good you didn't
Some
have
simple
money.
things.
Yep.
Some simple things. I instead of picking up a phone or instead of going down to the market, instead of picking up tomatoes which were bad, if that particular moment I would have done something different, my life would have been different.
Mhm.
So for leaders,
Yeah.
it's very important for leaders that you understand every aspect of things, because it's not your life, it is the life of everybody else that is dependent upon you. Not literally life, but it is the lives. My mother always used to say one thing when I was a kid, when we were flying in an airplane. You know, say a prayer before the flight takes off. She used to say, son, all of us passengers, we have to depend upon the captain. Our lives are in the hands of the captain, and the captain's life is in the hands of God's, if of God, of Allah, of Jehovah, or whatever you call him. So it's a series of events. If flying the plane, the captain closes his eyes, 350 people dead. Am I correct, Misha?
Mhm. Yeah.
So every particular action of your life could make a difference or could be different, has you know uh, various options. Likewise, every decision of yours with your team members could have a different option. So if you're angry with one of your team members, take a moment, step back, count up to 20, count up to 30. I cannot count more than 50 because I'm fifth standard fail. You guys know it. So I don't know what comes after 50. So I can count maximum up to 49. So that's the reason why you must have seen whenever I'm talking to either Arun or Sahil, many times I keep quiet because I've already counted up to 49. I don't know what comes after 49. Sahil, show your face now at least, my dear darling. The whole meet has gone without me seeing your face. So that is it. It depends. Every action of yours depends. Or it makes or breaks you as a leader. And with this, we have tried to understand Mr. Goldman's 6 personality traits or 6 leadership traits or 6 leadership styles. Does anybody have any questions?
Melody,
Deep, Lalit?
No.
Sahil, you were saying something, dear?
No.
Sahil, have you colored your hair?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Okay.
I
I
like.
thought this is the original color and you used to dye.
Okay.
I was thinking also like she is getting old.
तूने ash gray करवाया है?
Yeah, I got it.
Highlights.
It's been a long time.
I never noticed it. I'm just noticing it right now.
Sahil,
Great.
is that a oven behind you?
It's a
That's one
TV.
cupboard. Acha, no. Okay.
iMac.
That looks like a bakery oven. You have these electronic ovens. Okay. Angelica, you understood it? Have you understood? Or can you recognize, or do you understand why a leader has to have, or rather should be a little bit more forbearing?
Yes.
Georgi,
Yep.
Mr.
Patience.
Udanodze and Mr. Akobodze.
Akobidze.
Akobidze.
Ebanoidze.
Ibanovidze.
Ebanoidze.
Ibanovidze. So,
I understand it, Abdus. Actually, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Redima?
I just have one thing in mind. Can I be a coach without being commanding?
These
Would
are styles. These
Yeah.
are you
Yes.
could definitely be. You could.
Yes.
It's you
I
who
think
have
you
to
can
derive
mix.
it.
I guess without being commanding, I won't be able to coach it better.
You can.
Sometimes it needs to be that's we all keep on talking about that you should have like a good positive control over your teams. That is something related to being commanding as well. And you're being a good coach as well at the same time. So yeah, it's like interrelated. You can't be stuck to one thing.
You can't. It's like the 6 thinking hats.
Yep.
Which
You
are
have
you
to change
using
it.
at that particular moment?
Yep.
Guys, there's no such thing as good or bad.
That's what I've said.
There's everything which is good. There's everything which could be bad.
Yeah.
It's like parenting styles as well. There is one parenting style. There is a book by a doctor called Dr. Spock, Benjamin Spock, who wrote about how to raise children. So there are different styles of parenting as well. There's one type of parent like my father who never shouted at me in my whole life, who tried to explain things to me positively. And the evil man that I am, the very bad man that I am, one fine day, my father blew it. He started hitting me when I was around 10 years old. And when he hit me, his whole, I think he must have lost it completely. Like, he was like John Wick hitting somebody.
Oh my God. Your poor father.
And believe me, when my father was hitting me, what rang in my ears throughout my life, my mother used to say one thing. The day your father hits you, the day your father hits you, you will see stars, you will see angels. And then my father is hitting me, catching my head and banging it against the wall. My mother's words are ringing in my ear.
I have heard the same stories with all my male friends. Actually, they have the same experience at certain point of time in their life. Same story.
I think
Belts,
it is
wickets,
not correct to
I
hit
mean,
child.
brooms, wipers,
I think
the
not.
shoes.
No, but I'll tell you, this was half the story. Half the story was my father was an avid believer of Dr. Benjamin Spock, parenting style. Do this, do that, and this incident happened somewhere around 1976, 1977 when I was very small. I was like 10 years old at that time. 10 or the last years of my father's life, he and I, the last 1 or 2 years, we used to have father-son dates. We used to go out of the house. We used to spend a lot of time. There's a place in Delhi called Nehru Place. There's an area which is like office area. So my father and I used to meet up at around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 8 o'clock in the night. Father and son used to bond. I was around like 25, 26 years old at that time. My father was around like 70. And we used to, go eat here, go sit here, talk, 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 talk. We had a lifetime of catching up to do. So one day I still remember, I told him, Dad, you remember you hit me so much? My father said sorry immediately. He said, I feel very sorry about what I did. I'm ashamed of myself. My father said, I said, no, Dad, don't feel ashamed. As a father, you are right to do that. It is your right to hit me. I was naughty. My father was feeling, he literally went red. But I said, Dad, you know what you did wrong? What I felt you did wrong. You have a right to kill me also. You're my father. You've given me birth. I am your flesh and blood. I am born from you. You have all the right to do that. But after hitting me, when I'm crying in a corner, you come and you throw money on me. My dad literally, when I was having breakfast, after that, getting ready to go to school, my father came and threw 5 rupees on me. Literally threw. What made him do that? Guilt, probably. What made him do that? How can I face my son after this? But he shouldn't have done that. And this is what I told my dad. Nearly 30 or 25 years after, 20 years after, 15 years after that incident. I said, Dad, you shouldn't have thrown money at me. You have all the right in the world. Now see, Sahil, every time Sahil would have got 5 rupees or 10 rupees when his father hit him, Sahil would have been a millionaire by right now. Right, Sahil?
Absolutely.
Pecco.
Although I'm the youngest one, but I'm the youngest one, but I'm the top on the leaderboard to be beaten by my own dad.
Same thing out here, darling. Youngest sibling, youngest of all the cousins, and the most naughtiest, the most pretentious, the most, I don't know what you can say.
My elder brother is very smart, so whenever there's thing going on that my father is angry, and he made my father angry one day, and he just flew. And I was there, and my father was like, "You also do all these things. Come here." So
You've ever got a beating by your dad?
No.
Michelle?
Only one time I remember.
No, I don't remember.
Ridhima, have you ever been beaten? Have you got pasting by dad or mom? Mom probably yes.
Mom, yeah, mom,
Not
yeah.
by dad.
Not by dad.
Angelica, you?
I had once
Okay.
but mom many times when I was young.
Deep, Lalit, Bipin?
mom,
Only
dad,
from
both.
Only from mom.
Me, mom, dad, both.
Only from
Bipin?
home.
I know exactly one thing. I never hit my child. Never.
Yeah, I'll tell you an incident about my daughter. I've never hit her myself. She was around nearly two and a half years old. She dropped coffee on my computer. So I got angry. I picked her up, took her on the sofa, put her on the sofa,
And you ask her
face
to turn
against the
around.
wall, turn around and put your hands behind your back. And she's crying. She's trying to look at her mother. I said, don't. Then after after 5-10 minutes, my wife, her mother's heart. Don't you think it's enough? I said, she spoiled my computer. After some time, I got her out, I put her down. And she's asking her mother, Mummy, why did daddy punish me? My wife coolly taking the safe way out. Go ask your father what you did wrong. So when she came to me, I had a 2.5-year-old child. Huh? Daddy, why did you punish me? When she said that, my whole life went in a flashback into my eyes. I never asked my father when he hit me so badly. He used his belt with me, caught my head, and he slammed me against the wall. At that time, I didn't have the courage to ask him. And this 2.5-year-old girl is asking me, Daddy, what did I do wrong? Then I told her, I said, daughter, you dropped coffee, hot coffee, despite me telling you, don't come here, don't come here, don't do this. You still dropped coffee and my computer has gone bad. Oh, okay. Goes away. Guys, it's nearly 15 minutes overdue. Let me stop. Whoever is recording can stop recording, please.